Developers are not supposed to be translators, and yet most of you spend way too much time figuring out what someone actually meant. That's not a skill issue, that's a system failure. When I ran my agency, I thought dev delays were just about workload. They weren't. They were caused by clarification chains. The PM asks the dev asks PM asks the client replies 2 days later. And here's the part people underestimate. It's not just the questions, it's the dead time between each step. Yeah, you pick up something else for sure, but the project loses momentum, deadlines slip, and every return to task has a rebuild focus cost. Rebuilding cost is real work that never shows up anywhere. After hundreds of projects, I stopped blaming the developers. The delays weren't technical, they were informational. Clarity was the gap. Developers work on precision, exact values, specific environments, clear reproduction steps, defined acceptance criteria, but feedback usually arrives in feelings. The form doesn't work. This button overlaps. It looks weird on mobile. Which mobile? Which browser? What resolution? Logged in or out? Cached or fresh? So the developer becomes a detective. And every hour spent chasing clarity is an hour not building. Multiply that across the team over a 12 weeks project, and you're not losing hours, you're losing weeks. Not because the work is hard, because clarity is missing. And here's another pain developers don't talk about enough. Even when you build it correctly, you often don't have that design eye, that fine print instincts. You might be implementing a Figma design or vibing something together with AI. You're a problem solver, you think architecturally. But decision details, spacing rhythm, visual alignment, micro inconsistencies, that's where dev work gets dragged into endless back and forth with designers. And most AI systems are still not there. So the question becomes, what if you could catch those gaps before you send it back to the designer? Structured technical clarity means actionable context automatically. Each comment is tied to the exact element on the page. A screenshot captures the state, browser, device, and screen resolution are recorded automatically. Instead of the CTA button is broken on mobile, you get CTA button overlaps hero image on iPhone 17 Safari 390px width. No detective work, no back and forth, no wasted cycles. The developer opens the ticket and starts building immediately. In fact, there is a click that will take them directly to where the request was created initially. And this is also where modern review systems change the game for developers. You can take the design source, like a Figma file or uploaded visual, and compare it to the implementation. So instead of shipping something close enough, you get to pixel perfect with you plus AI, before the designer even has to chase you for those fixes. Let me give you a real example. This was a message posted in Slack. The checkout is broken. I can't check out. That's it. No link, no screenshot, no environment, nothing. It was a P0 for sure, so QA jumped in immediately. Then engineers jumped in too. We tried to replicate it, different browser, different devices, different account states, nothing. Turns out it only failed under one specific combination, Safari logged in state. If that report had arrived with structured context from the start, it's a 5-minute fix. Instead, it burned half a day across QA and engineering just trying to find reality. Multiply that across dozens of tickets and you see why lack of clarity destroys velocity. Now, developers watching this, what's the most frustrating bug report you've ever received? Drop it in the comments and I guarantee someone can probably top yours. When feedback is captured with context, developers don't need to guess. No missing screenshot, no unclear browser or device info, no repeated follow-ups. Tasks are clear, execution is fast, output goes up. Projects stop slowing down because people aren't translating feelings into code. So let's see how that looks. I'm going to use the Chrome extension because for internal team workflows, especially on logged in environments, the Chrome extension is the right way to go. That's the always-on collaboration layer. You can browse freely across the entire web. Every team member and developer should install it because it lets you leave feedback and create tasks across the web, including staging, portals, dashboard, and any logged in experience. Now, if you're working with external stakeholders, there's other solutions like the WordPress plugin or the script embed so that you have permission control over there. But for developers working day-to-day across environments, the Chrome extension is the fastest path to clarity. It takes you directly to the exact element and context of the task. No hunting, no guessing. And I'm sure you know the modern development isn't just about landing pages. It's SaaS dashboards, member portals, e-commerce flows, admin interfaces, internal teams. A proper feedback system works inside the actual environment, not just on public previews or screenshot. Developers see the real state of the build and reviewers see what end users actually see. This closes the gap between what's reviewed and what ships. The Figma workflow becomes a superpower. Instead of ship it and then wait for design feedback, fix, and repeat, you can pre-check implementation against the design and reduce those cycles dramatically. In fact, with the Figma plugin, this is the first time that you can actually understand how many revisions you have for each design within Figma. Now, every one of those comments become a clear task. It's assigned to the right developer. The status is tracked. We have open, in progress, waiting, and complete. It's prioritized and actionable. And there's no scrolling through Slack, even though you can push notifications there through the integration, but there's no hunting for context. Even there, you get the screenshot and all of these additional context. And of course, if your team already lives in Jira, ClickUp, Asana, or something else, you can still keep your workflow while pulling structured clarity into the tools you already use through the integrations. The point is simple. Wherever you manage the work arrives with clarity attached. And even when developers have clarity, projects still fall apart without someone orchestrating the whole thing. What's blocked? What's waiting? What's at risk? Where are the delays forming before they become disasters? That's where project managers come in. And in the next episode, we're breaking down why PMs don't need more tools. They need visibility, control, and accountability. Watch episode 4, because once you see the difference proper management makes, you can't unsee why some projects always hit delays.